It was a warm and sunny morning. Emma, a young mother, walked into her local Walmart store. Her little daughter, Lucy, was holding her hand. Emma had a small shopping list. She wanted to buy milk, cereal, some vegetables, and meat for dinner. It was a normal day, just like every week, but today would be different. Emma walked to the milk section. She looked at the price. Last week, the bottle of milk was $3. Now, it was almost $4. That surprised her. She moved to the egg section. The price of eggs also went up. The same box now cost $1.50 more. She picked up a box of cereal that, too, was more expensive than last week. Even the small bag of lettuce cost more. Emma stopped walking. She looked around the store. Many people had confused faces. One man was shaking his head. A woman nearby said quietly, "What is going on?" The store felt different. It felt tense and uncomfortable. Walmart is known for low prices. It is famous for helping people save money. Their message is everyday low prices. For many families, this is important. They go to Walmart because they trust that things will be cheap and affordable, but today, that promise felt broken. Emma looked into her basket. She was worried. She needed all these items for her family. But now, her weekly shopping would cost much more than before. She looked at her daughter and thought, how will we keep up if prices continue to rise? So, why were prices going up? There is one big reason. It is something called a tariff. A tariff is a special tax. It is a tax on goods that come from other countries. The President of the United States created a new trade rule. The rule is called Liberation Day tariffs. This rule started on a specific day. On that day, many goods from outside the US had to pay more money to enter the country. Here are some examples. If a product came from China, it had to pay a very high tax up to 145%. If it was a car from Korea, the tax was 25%. Goods from Europe were also taxed more. This made it much more expensive for companies like Walmart to bring in goods. When Walmart has to pay more, they cannot keep prices low. So they must raise the price for customers. That is why Emma saw higher prices for food. That is why cereal, eggs, and lettuce cost more. But this story is not just about numbers and taxes. It is about how people feel. Families like Emma's feel stressed and afraid. They do not know how much more they will have to spend next week or next month. A grandmother in the same store said, "I've never seen prices change so fast in my life." Her voice was quiet, but her words were heavy. The feeling in the store changed. It was not just a place to shop anymore. It became a place of worrying. People looked at prices, then looked at their wallets. Some even put items back on the shelves. This moment teaches us something important. When one big rule changes, many small things in life also change. It shows us that understanding the economy helps us understand our own lives. It also shows us that learning English can help us follow what is happening in the world. Now, let's look at some simple English words from this story that can help you grow your vocabulary. Tariff, a tax on goods from another country. Affordable, something you can pay for without stress. Shelf, the place where items are placed in the store. Groceries, food and products you buy for your home. Budget, a plan for spending money. Shocked, very surprised or upset. Emma slowly pushed her cart to the checkout line. She had to remove 2 things from her cart. It was not easy, but she smiled at Lucy. "We're okay," she said softly. "We'll figure it out," Lucy smiled back. Life is full of changes. Some are big, some are small. But what matters is how we face them. Emma's story reminds us that even when things are hard, we can stay strong, we can learn, we can keep going. And as English learners, we can also grow stronger. Every new word is a tool. Every story is a chance to understand more. So today, through Emma's shopping trip, we learned more than just why prices changed. We learned that stories connect us, teach us, and help us speak the language of life. Carlos sat in his truck. He had been waiting for 2 days near the port in California. His truck was parked, the engine was off, and the sun was hot. He was waiting for a container to arrive. But the container was late. Everything was late these days. He picked up his phone and called his wife. "Still waiting," he said. His voice was tired. His wife tried to comfort him. "Don't worry, just come home safe." Carlos is one of many people affected by a broken system. The system that moves goods from factories to stores is called the supply chain. This system was strong for many years. But now, it is breaking. Why is it breaking? One big reason is the new tariffs. These are taxes that the US government added to goods from other countries. When the president made this rule, many businesses had to pay more to bring products into the US. Walmart, for example, used to buy many products from China. But now, those products are very expensive because of the high taxes. Because of the new costs, fewer goods were ordered. Ships were not as full. But even worse, the cost to send one container across the ocean went up very fast. Before, it cost about $3,500. Now, it costs $6,500, and some experts say it may go up to $8,500 soon. That is more than double the old price. Carlos's story is one small example. He had 3 deliveries planned this week. But 2 of them were cancelled because the containers never arrived. He was not alone. Thousands of truck drivers had the same problem. They were waiting, losing money, and feeling helpless. The supply chain is more than just trucks and ships. It also includes big storage buildings called warehouses. Walmart has many large distribution centers across the US. One of them is in Texas. Sarah works there. She is a warehouse manager. One morning, she received a letter from Walmart's head office. It said that her center would close temporarily starting June 30th. She had to tell over 1,000 workers that their jobs would stop for a while. Sarah felt very sad. She had worked there for 12 years. She knew many workers by name, she said. Telling them was the hardest thing I've ever done. Some cried. Some were silent. Some asked, "What should we do now?" But the impact of the broken system doesn't stop there. Far away in Vietnam, Mr. Tran owns a small toy factory. His team makes toys for big stores like Walmart. But last month, Walmart cancelled their order. The reason, the products were too expensive to import. Mr. Tran had to reduce his staff. "We had to let go of 40 workers," he said. "It was the hardest day of my life." The story of Carlos, Sarah, and Mr. Tran shows how one problem leads to many more problems. One rule can change the path for thousands of people. When trucks don't move, when goods don't arrive, when stores don't have products, the system begins to fall apart. There are also problems with storage. Since goods are not moving quickly, companies now need more space to keep products. But warehouse space is limited. The cost for special storage went up 4 times. Even normal storage costs went up by 60% in just a few months. These are big numbers. Companies are losing money, and they pass that cost to customers in the store. Some small companies cannot survive. In Florida, a small sewing factory made uniforms for Walmart. After Walmart cancelled their order, the factory had to close. The owner said, "One phone call from Walmart, and everything stopped." Even transportation companies are hurt. Trucking companies have fewer trips. Some drivers are told to drive with empty trucks. Others stay home without pay. This affects their families, their homes, and their future. A broken supply chain is like falling dominoes. One piece knocks down another, and it continues. When the system worked, stores were full, prices were low, and workers had jobs. But now, with the chain broken, everything is harder. This story teaches us important new English words too. Delay, when something is late. Container, a large metal box used to move goods. Warehouse, a big building for storage. Layoff, when workers lose their jobs. Shortage, not enough of something. Frustrated, feeling upset or helpless, Carlos looked at the sunset from his truck. He still had no container, but he turned on the radio and waited. He said, "I don't give up easy. That spirit to keep going when things go wrong is something we can all learn from." Learning English is also a journey. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes we feel stuck. But if we keep listening, keep reading, and keep trying, we will move forward. Just like Carlos, just like the people working to fix the broken system, Walmart was facing many problems. Prices were rising, goods were late, stores had empty shelves. Workers were losing jobs, something had to change. The company knew they could not wait. They needed a new plan, so they started something big. They called it Project Reset. Project Reset was Walmart's way to fix the problems. It had three main parts. First, they wanted to buy products from new countries. For a long time, Walmart bought many goods from China. But now, those goods were too expensive because of the high tariffs, so Walmart began to look for new partners. They started working with factories in Vietnam, India, and Cambodia. These countries had lower taxes, the products from there were still good, and they cost less. This change helped Walmart lower their costs and keep stores full of products. The second part of Project Reset was to make more products in the United States. Walmart decided to invest a lot of money to build new factories in America. They called this plan Made in Heartland. It was a big dream. Walmart said they would spend $350 billion over 10 years to help American companies grow. They wanted to make things like furniture, electronics, and home goods in the US. This would also help create more jobs for American workers. It would make it easier to bring products to stores, faster and cheaper. One person who felt the change was Angela. She is a single mother living in Georgia. For many months, she did not have a job. Life was hard. She had to choose between paying bills or buying food. But then she got a call. A new Walmart factory was opening near her town. They wanted to hire her. Angela was so happy. She said, "It felt like I could breathe again." Now, she goes to work every morning. She feels proud. She can take care of her son. She believes the future is brighter. The third part of Walmart's plan was to use smart technology. They created a new computer system called Link 16. This system used artificial intelligence, or AI. It could study many things at the same time. It looked at shipping prices. It watched the weather. It even followed the tax rules in different places. Link 16 helped Walmart decide the best way to move products. It found the fastest routes. It avoided high taxes. Walmart said this smart system could save the company $600 million every year. But even with this big plan, the road ahead was not easy. Moving business from one country to another takes time. Building new factories takes years. Teaching new workers takes training. Also, the tax rules could change again. The president might add new tariffs or remove some. Every time that happens, Walmart must change their plan again. Sometimes the change comes fast within 72 hours. That is very hard for a big company. Still, Walmart believed in Project Reset. They knew it would take time. They knew it would be hard, but they also knew they could not go back. They had to move forward. They had to build something better. The world was watching. Other companies looked at Walmart's plan and wondered if they should do the same. Investors were worried, but they were also hopeful. If Walmart could survive this hard time, maybe others could too. The stock market was still weak, but some people believed change was coming. People from other countries also paid attention. Many were angry about the US tariffs. Countries like Canada and Mexico said they might add taxes too. The European Union was not happy. They said trade was becoming more difficult. But even with these problems, Walmart kept working. They were trying to build a new system that could last. This story teaches us more than just business. It teaches us about hope. It shows that when things break, we can fix them. When something old does not work, we can try something new. Angela's story reminds us that a second chance can change everything. She went from having no job to building a new life. Her story is full of courage and strength. And for English learners, this story is full of useful lessons. It shows new words like invest, factory, adapt, reset, and proud. It also shows how companies make big decisions. You are not just learning English, you are learning how the world works. The road may be long, but every step forward brings new hope. Walmart's journey is not finished, but they have started to walk in a better direction. Just like you, when you learn English, word by word, sentence by sentence, you are also walking toward a better future. Keep going, keep learning, and believe that change can bring new beginnings. After listening to this full story, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we have learned. We began with Emma, a young mother, who was surprised to see food prices rising at Walmart. Her weekly shopping became harder. She could not understand why basic things like milk, cereal, and lettuce suddenly cost so much. Like many families, Emma felt worried and confused. But behind those rising prices was something much bigger: new rules about trade and taxes called tariffs. These changes affected not just Emma, but millions of people. Then we met Carlos, a truck driver. He waited for days just to pick up one container. His work slowed down, he lost money. We saw Sarah, the warehouse manager, having to close her center and tell hundreds of workers they would lose their jobs. Far away, Mr. Tran in Vietnam had to let go of factory workers when Walmart cancelled orders. All of these people were part of the broken supply chain. They were not just numbers, they were real lives, full of emotion and struggle. But the story did not end there. In the third part of our story, we learned about hope and change. Walmart created a new plan called Project Reset. They started to work with new countries like Vietnam, India, and Cambodia. They decided to invest in American factories and workers. Angela, a mother from Georgia, got a new job because of this plan. Her life changed. She felt proud again. Walmart also used smart technology to fix their system. They believe that even in hard times, we can rebuild. This story teaches us something important. When big problems come, we should not give up. We should look for new paths, new ideas, and new ways to grow. Whether you are a mother trying to buy food, a worker waiting for a job, or a student learning English, you are part of this world, and you have the power to keep going. So, what is the lesson? The world changes quickly. Prices go up, jobs move, systems break. But if we stay strong, stay hopeful, and work together, we can find a better way. Like Walmart, we can reset. And like Angela, we can rise again. In your own life, try to face each challenge with hope and with a plan. That's how we grow. And now, congratulations. You made it to the end of the story. That means your English listening and understanding has improved a lot. Be proud of yourself. This was not easy, but you did it. Now it's time for a fun question. What was the name of Walmart's new plan to fix its problems? A. Project Restart. B. Project Reset. Comment below your answer, A or B, and let's see how many people get it right. If you enjoyed this story, please support the channel by subscribing. It really helps us continue creating more free, easy to understand English content for you. We're doing this from the heart to help English learners like you around the world. Also, if you can, please consider donating to support our work. In the beginning, it's hard to make quality content without help. Every small donation helps us grow and keep teaching. Thank you for listening. Keep learning, keep going. And remember, English is your bridge to a better future.